Hey, good Thursday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. We gave you the numbers. You decide if it's a snowstorm or not. My hint in knowing you over the last 30-something years, it's not a snowstorm. It's one of those wake up Sunday morning, maybe a little sun coming through the clouds on a fresh blanket of snow. Pretty tight snow. So let's get into it and I'll let you decide. Hey, good morning. Thanks for watching. Good morning to Jennifer Zidor, Randy Wimbley TV. Good morning. You must be in TV. Welcome. Pam Sharp, good morning. And Joe Fiddler, thanks for watching the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Let's get on into it. And here we go. So we had a touch of freezing rain in places overnight, as expected. It's pretty well all done. And a little bit of snow left up in the far northeast part of lower Michigan and across the UP. But today we'd call it a dry day, and we do get to warm above freezing. We actually get to warm a couple of degrees warmer than I thought yesterday. It was looking like the cold air was going to be pretty stubborn. It's there right now as far as cold air for maintaining the ice on a side street or a driveway or a parking lot, so be careful there. But forecast shows that as we get into the afternoon, most areas will, at least in the southern half of lower, most areas will make it into the mid 30s, and that will take care of any ice on a driveway. So this is noontime, and Grand Rapids is inching toward the freezing mark at noontime, and also the southwest shoreline and Ann Arbor and Detroit. This is 1 to 3 o'clock this afternoon, 34 Grand Rapids, 33 Kalamazoo. That takes care of this light ice pretty quickly. 4 o'clock, 34 bursts into the Saginaw Bay City, Midland area. Roads improve dramatically there if they haven't already. And there you can kind of see, I would take a line from, Midland southward, making it above freezing and getting rid of any of the ice that's on the roadways and whatnot. Donna Ackerman says snowy in St. Charles this morning. And Larry Kendereski, good morning to you. All right, so precipitation done. Temperature slowly warming. If you don't want to deal with the ice, wait until you get to the afternoon. Now, next weather system. They're lined up like floats in a parade out across the Pacific, so we'll go over this. So this afternoon, the winds really do pick up, gusting to 35, but that's not anything really extraordinary. Now, this is Friday morning. Friday should be a dry day with the exception of a few lake effect spots. Also a blizzard warning in effect for the Keweenaw Peninsula and around that area of the UP. So if you're going to that area, some snow and 50-mile-an-hour gusts. But for lower Michigan, Friday, I would call it a pretty quiet day, a dry day, especially as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. And then here comes our next snow system, mostly. Everything pretty consistent. So let's go to about 1 in the afternoon on Saturday. I would call this a light snow developing in northern lower Michigan, the UP, Saturday morning late, and into the southern part of the state by sometime Saturday afternoon or evening. So let's go to, say, 7 o'clock. Saturday evening. And there it is. One thing about this is a little bit colder, so the freezing rain has shifted into northern Ohio. Far southern border, you could get a little bit of a mixture. That's about it. And you look at this Saturday evening. What does this say? It says steady, light to moderate snow across most of Michigan, especially the northern 2/3 of lower Michigan. Also a little renewed burst right at the far south part near the storm center. Look at the little little split there, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. That's the sign that it's not a really well put together snowstorm. So in my mind, is it a snowstorm? No, it is not. It's just an accumulating snow. So we go through the night. Saturday night, it's going to be snowy. And then let's get to Sunday morning, 7 a.m. The snow ending and maybe transitioning to some scattered lake effect snow bursts through the day on Sunday that can break off and move over to the eastern part of the state. But the accumulating snow would be done for most of us by sunrise on Sunday. So how much? This is a pretty good early first guess, I guess we'll call it. And I'm calling it a 2 to 5 inch snow from Flint to north of Grand Rapids northward. Saginaw, Flint, Bay City, Midland, the Thumb, Big Rapids, Ludington, Manistee, probably on the axis of 4 or 5 inches up toward Traverse City. South of Flint, south of Grand Rapids, you may taper off to 1 inch or 2 inches, and you might have a little bit more right at the border as we're seeing kind of an enhanced period of snow there. All right, now we get into the weather mess of a lot of storm systems. And one thing I always like to remind you is that when we have a lot of storm systems, no one storm builds up to be a big storm, a mega type storm. Now, having said that, usually what happens is these waves of storminess we've identified come in waves of like 3, 4, or 5 storms, and then it quiets down, and then another wave comes, and you're going to see that 4 or 5 storms in the next couple of weeks. Oftentimes, the last one, the 4th or the 5th storm, the jet stream buckles more, and it can become the strongest of the 5. So we could look for something in the next week or two that would give us a stronger storm system, and we kind of see that a little bit on the model runs this morning. So let's look at that together. So we like the European model. It's not always perfect. Hey, good morning, Margaret Parker from Davison, and Marilyn Rosas, you are welcome. Melody Ortiz, thanks for watching, and Leo McManaman. That's a tongue twister this early in the morning. Sorry about that one. So here's our storm system for Saturday night off Sunday. And then here's storm system number 2. Maybe with a little bit of a glancing blow on Tuesday, some snow in the south. Here's storm system number 3. Thursday of next week has a very similar look to our weekend storm system number 3. And then here's storm system number 4 that looks to have a lot more isobars around, a lot more cranked up, and that would be next weekend or early the following week, and that looks to be a stronger storm system. Looks like, depending on the track, it could crank some warm air in, it could crank some freezing rain in, some rain in, maybe it keeps the heavy snow band to the north. That's kind of iffy, because that would be the perfect time of year where historically that storm center would track just to our south and bring us a snowstorm. So watch out for that, and then you kind of notice the lull. So that's my theory, that in this series of 4 or 5 storms, the last one could be a little bit heavier. So we'll keep an eye on that one. What do we got here? Okay, what I wanted to show you here is this is the European model ensemble mode, snowfall out 16 days, just to show you kind of the active storm track. So there, the ensemble mode says it's a 2 to 5 inch snow. I showed you the deterministic mode, and then we go through and I showed you several weather makers and snow systems, and we take it out to February 21st, and it says total snowfall in the next 16 days, 7 to 12 inches of snow, and that's about right. That's about right for 2 weeks in February in Michigan. It would have a couple of 3 or 4 inch snows and get you up into that 7 to 12 inch range total for half a month. So we're going to have a little winter. Today, let's call it 34 in a lot of places in the southern half of the state. Then colder tomorrow into the 20s. And Saturday, cold enough that it's mostly all snow when we go Saturday into Sunday. No freezing rain, really a big threat. Monday in the 20s. Tuesday, some colder air might sink in, highs in the teens, and 20s on Thursday. What you see is no big warm up. Now, as we get to next weekend, the temperature gradient can always be very interesting, from very warm in the south to very cold in the north when a storm center cranks up and comes across our area. But we'll have to watch that. That's way too far out to be specific. But the point is, out to February 20th, guess what we have to enjoy, folks? We have something called, it's a little old season called winter here in Michigan. Remember that? Remember wintry Februaries? Well, they still happen, and it's happening this year. So hang in there. It's a snow shoveling on Sunday morning, a pretty one. Winds die off midday, and it's not a vicious howling around blizzard type thing, I don't think, at all. And then we watch active storm systems. I will keep you updated on that. Hey, sorry for the rant on Facebook this morning. It was just on my mind. What we're going through in meteorology, right now, is that news outlets, they can get a hold of numbers of what I do and other meteorologists around the country, what we do, and it's an important thing to a lot of you, so a lot of you read it. So then the other news outlets jump in. Hey, let's try to get something up in weather. Well, what do you know? I don't know. I know a little bit about weather. Well, okay, let's write something. And what does it turn out to be? A sensationalist piece of junk. So my thing to you today is, follow your trusted meteorologist. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's a competitor. Follow your trusted meteorologist. We will try to do the best for you, and we will try not to be alarmist. Okay? All right. Second rant of the day. What's my limit? I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa. You have yourselves a great day. See you here tomorrow. Bye.